So I'm the founder of Media Melon. It's a company about a year and a half old, based in downtown San Francisco. The company focuses on the ways to deliver videos. So TubeMogul, as you saw, is a way to syndicate videos to different websites, YouTube, Veo, and a lot of websites. But the end goal of the content is, how do you make it? How do you create money from it? How do you make it? Taking a step back, new media is new because of Internet Protocol. The reason that new media did not exist is because IP did not exist. And what IP does is it makes it easy for people to create content, to put it up on the website, on different websites. But then there are a lot of challenges. How do you we can improve the playback quality and reduce the cost. We described about the cost reduction. The reason we can improve the playback quality is because there are some networks that are very good in the US, but they may not be very good in some other parts of the world. Content you're developing is meant for audiences, meant for a global audience. It's difficult for any publisher to contract with all kinds of delivery networks, but by working with Media Melon, publishers can tap into the best network for any given usage. So it improves the quality in several ways. So it talks a bit about the problem that we are solving. So let me describe another problem. So IP is people are seeing television programs over the internet. I have friends who have switched off their cable and they are plugging their internet and seeing ABC and Hulu and other content online. Very soon, televisions will have an internet connection. They'll have a storage device, and you plug the internet cable to your television, and you expect to see it in 1080i, 1080p. And there are two problems with it. One is that it's going to be expensive for the Hulu or whoever is delivering it, and YouTube is having that kind of a loss with the current quality. But if they want to deliver it at 1080i, it's very, very expensive. So besides the expense, if people want to charge money for it, like Netflix does, how do you ensure that the videos are going to play in a very good quality? Because nobody controls the internet. Netflix does not. They don't control the internet connection all the way to your television. So if they were to charge $3, $4 for a movie, it's tough because once they charge the money, they don't have the control over the viewing experience. So there has to be a way to perhaps pre-deliver the content onto the television, make sure that it is secure, figure out how it's being consumed. So there is a need for that layer of service between the viewing device and the content source. So the second challenge in terms of delivering it for the next generation is how do you reduce the cost but also enable delivery on various kinds of devices. So these are a couple of products that we offer. What we call as the squeezer for Media Melon is we cut down the cost of delivery by managing distribution across various sources. So if you are let's say NBC works with it's public information. They work with Akamai and they work with a company called Limelight, and they deliver content across those two different CDNs. Plus they have a variety of data centers that they operate. And each of them have different cost structures. So we don't work with NBC, but the idea is that a company could manage delivery across those various sources and reduce the cost. And the cost reduction is in the order of 30–40% by just doing that. It's a software that we would license to a publisher and help reduce the cost. The second product is, as the name describes, it's the juice, it's the bandwidth. So we have deals with various content delivery networks. As a publisher, let's say that you want to deliver videos. You have two choices. One is that you can upload videos to YouTube. You can make it more efficient by using TubeMogul. But then the problem is, it's not your own site, it's not your own brand. You can't put it in. Let's for example assume that you are live delivery has a lot of challenges. It's far more expensive. So a typical computer, a server, can perhaps deliver to about 200 people at the same time. Over 200, it will start choking up. But if you are a company that's doing showing Olympics games or a large event where you expect millions of people to come and look at it. At the same time, there are a lot of challenges. So we have some solutions to scale it very easily and deliver it inexpensively. A large, Chase, a large financial institution, and you have videos about your product, you have videos about, what your institution does. It wouldn't put its videos in YouTube and embed it there because it's typically user-generated content. So you want to have your own branding and things like that. So how do you get the so you currently have to do a deal with we support it, but that's more on the the what's called as the presentation layer front end, right? I mean, we do have some basic solutions to make it to syndicate content to various sites. So so it depends on the application. So if you are an enterprise, if you are a commercial content publisher, your challenges would be how do you get a branded player, but also make that content be available on blogs and your own company's website, etc. So we support that. But if your challenge is you want the video to be on a lot of social networking sites, there are better ways to do it than what Media Melon can offer. Media server, FMS, that's what is typically used for streaming video. It uses a protocol called RTMP, real-time media protocol. Then what's happening with but HTTP, which is more popular as an internet protocol, right? The internet is very optimized for that. All the routers and switches and all the internet infrastructure is very optimized for HTTP. So what's happening now is people are moving away from RTMP and using FMS to using HTTP for video delivery. And the reason people used FMS is because there is a way to avoid video piracy. For example, on YouTube, it is possible to actually pirate off a YouTube video without much difficulty. But it's very difficult to do it on Hulu because Hulu uses FMS. One of the new features that we have recently launched is called Media Melon Direct, which basically is a way for publishers to tap into the capabilities that we provide on a self-service basis. So you could go to Media Melon Direct on our website, and you can sign up for a package and upload your videos, create your own player and embed it on your website. And the reason we are doing that is to address smaller publishers, but also so the individual filmmaker, I mean, eventually the film you're going to or the company for which you're creating a movie has to license the content to some distribution house, whether it's somebody like a Netflix may buy distribution rights, or it could be a Disney or somebody like that. And then they have a challenge of how do you get the video across to home videos and cable and satellite and over the internet. So we are actually solving something on that side. So we are not in the business of making the production itself more efficient, but what we are really focused on is how do you get the video in the hands of enough people in a good quality and help the distributor make enough money, and hence benefit the person who's producing the content too. So as an individual producer, if your goal is to have the video be seen by as many people as possible, then you would probably use a social networking site like YouTube and get eyeballs. But if you have your own website and you want people to come to that site and you want to monetize it better, which is which assumes that you're essentially a distributor, then you would use Media Melon because you can make more money per video. You get a much higher advertising rate, CPM rates. You can do it at a lower cost and show it in a better quality.